Just 10 minutes ago, I felt a paroxysm of desire to create a platform where I can share all of my intricate thoughts on a variety of subjects. I think I'll mainly focus on science, and with the goal not necessarily to be the amount of views I can obtain or a wide audience, but more so if I can connect with at least a few individuals and get somebody else like questioning life itself. See, one thing is I am a bit of an awkward person, especially behind a camera, and it feels very unnatural to film myself speaking. However, I've always wanted to make my own YouTube channel, and I think due to the fear of judgment, I never have. And I think now that I'm older, I'm currently 20, I've realised I never should have let them people faze me, because I think I was usually the smartest in the room. Although one thing I want to point out is one of my very good friends actually said to me that he would never want to be the smartest in the room, and I think that is, so it's kind of a paradox because you wouldn't necessarily expect to naturally crave that. However, I can agree with him with that one, because then it means you'll always be learning something new. I'm currently reading Forces of Nature by Brian Cox, and I highly recommend this. From studying A-level chemistry and biology at school, I would say I have a relatively good understanding of the academic side of science. However, I feel like with this book, it actually shows it in more of an applied way, and I just love being able to relate my knowledge to an everyday thing. And I also love when someone asks a question or someone wonders something and I will have the answer, and I feel like this is one of the books that will allow you to be able to do that. One quote that I read in that book that I wrote in mine is, "Physics is about precision of thought, which is aided and evidenced by precision of language." And personally, I believe language could be detrimental to the connection of theories. If two scientists were destined to meet but limited by language, I think that would be a tragedy. And I think that also applies in a lot of different aspects of life. An example being this book, The Outsider by Albert Camus. I don't know if you pronounce it Camus or Camus, I don't know. However, I only had the ability to read this and his other books, The Fall being my favourite book of all time, because this one was translated by Sandra Smith. I remember I went on my first ever solo trip to Greece back in October, and I read this book, and the back half of it and then the last 20 pages, I was sat on my balcony and I swear the melancholic thoughts I was having were insane. I feel like with some authors they can try and write in a way for what is socially acceptable. Also, I'm currently reading Lolita. That makes me feel, I've only just started it, but it makes me feel a bit nauseous reading it. But then I underlined it has been written that it should have an ethical impact on the serious reader. But as I was saying, I feel a lot of authors try and write, well, when we're talking about fiction, in a way that is socially accepted. But I think Albert Camus is incredible because he doesn't write what you expect him to write. He'll write messed up things, and personally I think that aids in me having a wider range of thoughts, because I don't think one should strive to feel happiness all the time. I think everyone should let themselves feel an array of emotions, not let them consume you to the point of obsession, but let them consume you to a point of inspiration. And I think the main goal is to maintain satisfaction internally over a long period of time. As I mentioned previously, I did A-level biology, and I remember one of my favourite lessons was a lesson on the odd properties of water, but I don't think I ever actually applied that into a day-to-day sense. And another quote or concept from this book that I picked up and decided to write a bit on was water and its odd properties, primarily the fact that H2O in a solid state is less dense than H2O in a liquid state, leading to ice floating. This played a fundamental role in the evolution and persistence of life on Earth. If the opposite was true, as is the law for essentially everything else, bodies of water would have frozen from the bottom up, perhaps becoming permanently solid. This would have had a dramatic impact on the ecosystem and food webs that rely on bottom-dependent animal and plant life in water. I feel like I could discuss life on other planets and the whole concept of life itself all day if I had the time. But one thing I want to point out is, if you think about all of the species on our planet right now, they're not civilizations like us sapiens are. They have primal thoughts, of course, as we should, but I think we have drifted away from that side, but that's for a different day. But we have, as sapiens, although impacted the earth negatively, some have impacted the earth so positively. And maybe if something was different, such as ice being more dense than water and sinking to the bottom, maybe our civilization would have never evolved. On the topic of life, one concept that personally I don't necessarily believe, because I am very heavy on believing the evolution of life on Earth, that it started on Earth. However, a concept that you could think about and indulge in is possibly life was created on another planet. Life can arise only from life. The idea that life could have its origin beyond Earth was raised by both authors, so two people that did the same experiment and had no idea that they were both taking part simultaneously. They both came to the same conclusion, which is a very cool concept. And life is not characterized by any special properties, but by a definite specific combination of these properties. The link between living and dead matter is therefore somewhere between a cell and an atom, which is crazy. The quote I read a few pages prior to that concept was, "There was a period 13.8 billion years ago when the part of the universe that we can see today, containing over 350 billion large galaxies and with a wide diameter of over 90 billion light years, was compressed into a region of space smaller than a single atom." That blew my mind. And because of that, I don't believe the origin of life on Earth originated on a different planet, because life has got to start somewhere. So maybe you could call me simple for choosing to just believe the more easy way. However, that is my personal opinion, but I'll be surprised if anyone has actually watched this far, but if you have, that means a lot. And leave your opinion in the comments, and if you find any cool facts, please do let me know. And on that note, I'm gonna finish this video up here. I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching to the end. If you did, it means the world to me. And leave any different maybe video ideas or concepts you'd like me to research, and I will perhaps make a video. Maybe I will never post a video again. Maybe I will post daily. Who knows? But again, thank you for watching, and I hope that this was a good use of your time.